welcome to that 80s show. Oh dear, Dori, what a silly little start I had. What a silly little man I am. How you doing, Dori?
I'm confused, but I'm good.
Yeah, I realized it's something that like only I really knew what was going on there. So for anybody else, he just heard me laughing and didn't know that I'd pressed all the wrong buttons to begin this recording. Dori, I want to ask you something.
No, I haven't finished watching the Kylie Minogue documentary.
Ooh, that's not what I wanted to ask you, but maybe that's where we do start. But I was thinking of something. I actually saw a meme that this is the perfect show for people who, when they say, "What you're talking about, Willis?" nobody actually knows what they're talking about anymore. Because either they're asking somebody who's too old or too young, or everyone has just literally forgotten what the fuck they're talking about. So, what are we talking about, Dori? So the Kylie Minogue documentary, shame, Dori, shame. I know your name. Why have you not watched it?
Time?
Ugh.
Okay, let me come to
Dori, you are no longer a lady of the night. Oh, you do not work at nights anymore. I will not accept this excuse any longer.
Yes, but I have early mornings, which means I'm like passed out asleep before 9 p.m. That is the problem.
The thing with Kylie Minogue, it kind of feels inexcusable for me because we are the intrepid, stylistic, monosyllabic, Jurassic, number one 80s podcast within this continent. It is our sworn duty to complete Kylie Minogue. But I actually think about it though. If you've only watched episode 1, then you've watched the 80s part because episode 1 is all 80s. Okay.
Well, I'm not finished it, but also Jason Donovan's in it.
I see. And
I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm trying.
Not only is he's in
so
it,
annoying.
Not only is he in it, he's wearing leather pants, Dori. A man in his 60s in leather pants.
That's why I was annoyed. That's probably why I was annoyed.
No, it made me so happy.
Like, I can't remember what it was exactly that he said, but he was making out like Kylie did him wrong somehow. That he was like madly in love with her and she did not reciprocate feelings. He was hinting that she's a B word.
Do you think so? You see, Dori, it's just because you hate Jason Donovan so much that you actually read that. Because
Possible.
He's definitely not gotten over her. That is one thing for damn sure. He's married, got kids. He's still not gotten over her. And I wonder if he's not gotten over her because he loved her, or he goes, we could have been the power couple.
He's bitter. Let's be honest, he's bitter.
Of her success. Because, I mean, he's just the most famous man who's ever worn a Technicolor Dreamcoat. And she's Kylie Minogue.
She left him behind big time. They maybe started on the same footing, and she so left him behind, and I think he's bitter.
She tried her best, though. I mean, she got Stock Aitken Waterman made her a song for him. They did duets. She did try. You can't accuse her of not trying to bring him along. You only see the leather pants once because he's not getting that shit off. 60 years old. You're not even getting that pants off. He either lives in those pants or they cut off. They once off pants. Because once they're off, they're never going back.
Maybe they're sprayed on. Spray on.
It's Jason Donovan and his spray on pants. Name of the show. So, Dori. When we talk about the Who's the Boss cast, right? Judith Light is always in something. Like, I'm always getting a notification, Judith Light cast in this, Judith Light's going to be on Broadway, Judith Light. doing it. She's always around.
I'm wondering, you have an alert for Judith Light? Do you have that?
Yes, Dori. I have alerts for every single cast member of the top 50 sitcoms of the 80s.
That's insane.
Yes, it's called The Barrel, Dori. Welcome to the bottom. Here is my scraper. Tony Danza, he's a singer now. He's a late life crooner. You know, he's got a bit of a Frank Sinatra thing going on. That's where he is. Alyssa Milano, I don't need an alert. I like to pop on her Instagram and see, is she breastfeeding a goat this week? What's going on with Alyssa Milano in her world? But the one person that we don't hear a lot of is Danny Pintauro, who played Jonathan.
No, we don't.
Angela's son. We did hear about him
because he didn't go on to do much acting, did he? Like, he was like, no, I'm done.
He did try, but of course we heard about the controversy around him. He in 2015 he came out and spoke about his crystal meth addiction. I forgot about that. Yes, I remember early 2000s he had revealed that he had contracted HIV as a result of heavy drug use. So he's had that, Dori. That's why people don't talk about him too much. He's recently popped up on Fox News talking about what he's doing now, which is he's an Amazon delivery driver.
Okey-dokey.
I'll let that digest. Now, listen, we're not here to shit. If a good, a dollar's work for a dollar's pay. Like, nobody says, it's the gig economy. These online services have opened up a lot of new job opportunities, but not when you're on one of the top sitcoms in the world as a kid. Where did it all go wrong? So he talks about this. I'm saying, yes, he did try other stuff, but he's doing deliveries for Amazon Flex. I don't really know what's the difference between Amazon and
I'm guessing most people wouldn't recognize him, and even if they did, a lot of people wouldn't know who he was.
And wouldn't go to the fucking kid from Who's the Boss just to drop off my batteries. Is that no? Fucking surely.
If you were the recipient of the package, it would be a whole different story.
So, hey, Danny Pintauro, bring your package over here.
Tell me about Alyssa. Tell me about Alyssa.
Oh, tell me you. Let's not go there. Okay, no, I don't want to do much editing on this show. I don't want to say rude stuff. So, but he was on Fox saying, yes, this is what he's doing now. And what he did is he broke down the misconception of sitcom actors, because we always go, they're living off residuals. Fantastic, they'll live on residuals forever, especially a show like that. And he explained, well, no, it's not really like that, because it got very technical. But he said it's residual payments. Firstly, it's rather when a whole entire series and a series of series are bought rather than each individual episode on a rerun. The older shows get, the less they earn. He said some checks he gets are like a couple of cents per episode. And what happened in the 80s is nobody ever foresaw DVD, let alone streaming. So all the residuals were kind of bundled into syndication, onto TV, but not onto DVDs or on stream. So it's just not accounted for. So they just are less likely to earn out of it, unless you're like a Jerry Seinfeld who does a deal. Because like I saw the A-Team, the entire 5 seasons of the A-Team is on Amazon Prime, delivered to you by Danny Pintauro. And I'm going, is Mr. T seeing a cent? Is he seeing a cent of that? Justice for T. Because if they can do it to Danny Pintauro, they can do it to B.A. Baracus. I don't want to fucking stand for it. You'll be surprised, he said. You'll be surprised of how many big stars from the 80s that, because of this, are doing regular jobs. And it's almost impossible to get in to do anything, and that's where they are. So if Danny Pintauro shows up with his package or your package, just gladly accept it. Listen, I'm already Danny Pintauro. Hey, you bump into the industry party. Hey, Danny, what's going on? Are you working on any new projects? Corey Feldman says to him, maybe that like a C-list party in Hollywood. And Corey Feldman says to him, hey, Danny, what are you up to? This is how I got this thing going on with Amazon. That amuses me greatly. You see, now I can be his agent.
Terrible.
I can be his agent now. Now,
You're terrible.
I know that you woke up this morning going, shit, I would love to know how a day in my life and the choices that I made in the 80s would have been able to decide what 80s action TV show or movie I watched tonight. Right? Just a series of normal things you would have done in the 80s. How would that decide which action movie you're going to watch? Well, Dori, you're in luck because BuzzFeed did the same thing, and I've got a little quiz for you. Okay.
Yay.
So you get to spend a day in the 80s and the choices you made in the 80s. This is going to, according to BuzzFeed, dictate what action movie you should watch. Okay, are you ready?
I am.
Right. Now, what time are you waking up on your day from the 1980s? You've gone back to the 1980s. Just think now you're going to make all decisions in the 1980s. What time are you waking up?
I was at school.
5 a.m., 6:30,
No.
7:15, or when the sun...
6:30.
6:30.
30 sounds about right.
Okay, Dori is waking up at 6:30. What are you having for breakfast? Here are the options. Now, it's an American, so... Egg McMuffin, what would have been the equivalent? A wimpy burger, a pan burger, French toast, yogurt parfait, which is very 80s, or just coffee. Just coffee. Which of those four are you having?
I mean, and that's not what I used to eat, but just choose which I would eat now.
Yeah, if those are your four options.
Let's go with French toast.
Close enough. Okay, what are you excited to wear? Neon, a Miami Vice inspired suit or anything with shoulder pads, parachute pants, or your bright windbreaker?
Like all of the above.
I know. You can only choose one. It's a wash day.
The shoulder pads. Let's go with the shoulder pads.
Anything with shoulder pads. Now, it says it's a school day, but say after school. Where are you going after school? The pool, the mall, the movies, or just hang out with your friends outside Panburgers playing Pac-Man?
I'm definitely going to Panburgers, so let's go with that one.
Just cruising.
And I am playing Pac-Man.
Just hanging with your friends. Now, choose an 80s TV show you love from this list. Family Ties, Magnum, The A-Team, or Cheers?
Family Ties.
Family Ties. What's something you need for your 1980s house? A basement, like they used to have in the 1980s movies and TV shows. An intercom, so you can call your mom to bring you snacks. A beanbag chair, or waterbed?
Waterbed.
I had it because it's the only time it existed. What song of these is playing on your Walkman? Walk Like an Egyptian, Like a Virgin, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, or When Doves Cry by Prince?
Oh, Prince.
And then finally, choose a word to describe your day in the 80s. Gnarly, bodacious, righteous, or kif?
Really, Kif?
I'll put it in, kif.
I was going to say gnarly. Before you even gave me the options, gnarly was the first word that came to my brain.
Okay.
So we're going with gnarly.
Right. So now, Dori, based on your day, the normal decisions you're just making in an 80s day, the action movie you should watch is Return of the Jedi. That's what you should watch.
What?
Yeah. I think
I don't even watch Star Wars.
Dori, if a BuzzFeed quiz does not decide our lives, what use is it? What absolute use is it? You may as well use ChatGPT as your therapist next. Fortunately, you don't have to take a quiz to find out what movie I recommend that you should watch this week, Dori, because movie recommendations are back after a while. And I got a nice one. I really thought it was going to be shitty, but it had mid-reviews. It has a nice cast. I had heard about it, but never watched it, and I'm sure you've watched it. It was just nice. It was just pleasant. It was just on in the background, and it was just there, and I didn't have to look at the screen, and when I did look at the screen, there was someone pretty or a nice car. So it was, I gotta tell you, we've been recording for 21 minutes, recording virtually. Dori has put on her second layer of clothing. It's like reverse strip podcasting. There must be a trigger word that every time I say, you're playing a bingo, that every time I say something to you, you put on an item of clothing. There must be a trigger word going on here.
The trigger is I'm cold.
Because it's so specific. I'm like, no, fuck. There's a word. Dori's playing like a dressing game, not a drinking game. Okay. So my movie from 1984 called The Flamingo Kid. Have you ever heard about it?
Oh, of course, Matt Dillon.
So sweet, Dori. Great cast. Matt Dillon, so young. Directed by Garry Marshall. It's typical coming of age. Matt Dillon, Richard Crenna, Hector Elizondo, Jessica Walter, Janet Jones, Fisher Stevens playing his own race. Marisa Tomei. What? It's true.
I know.
You know he wasn't a person of color in Short Circuit. You know that, right? That's what you got to say. You love Fisher Stevens because he did brownface, and no one ever talks about it. No one ever talks about it.
I mean, he was in Succession.
Yeah.
He's survived.
He survived. You see,
wow.
Johnny Five says you'll survive. That's what Johnny Five says. And Marisa Tomei pops up in this movie in her first appearance with first speaking role as Bridget the Contortionist. And it's really her. She really contorts her body. And I was very, very happy about this. This I did not know. Bronson Pinchot. Pre-Serge, just pre-Serge, and pre-Balki Bartokomous. This movie actually came out the same time as Beverly Hills Cop. But Beverly Hills Cop, I think, came out like 2 weeks before this. So, like, people were like, oh, there's that Serge guy, but he didn't have much of a role, but by now here's Serge. So, we're actually in the 60s, right? A lot of 80s movies were set in the 50s and 60s. And Matt Dillon plays a kid called Jeffrey who gets a summer job at this fancy beach club in Queens. And this is what he can do for the summer. So all the kids go from the Bronx and they go work at this fancy club. And he gets seduced by this lifestyle at this fancy beach club, right? Where it's like a bunch of self-made men and money's thrown around. The cars in this movie are beautiful. There's one comment my wife made. She says, every time I look at the screen, there's an awesome car. And the cars are absolutely amazing. Like all these classic cars from the 50s and 60s. Lots of beautiful women wearing a lot less clothes than they would have worn in the 60s, because it's still the 80s, but they got to have 60s styled bikinis, but for the 80s. So a lot of flesh on display. And he loves the whole lifestyle. He loves the whole thing, and he gets befriended by Richard Crenna's character called Phil Brody, who is got a car dealership, big deal car salesman. Everybody kind of gravitates around him. And he plays gin rummy. He's the gin rummy champion. And this just so happens to be what Jeffrey's good at. He's also very good at gin rummy, playing cards. So as the summer goes on, Matt Dillon's character is totally enamored by this lifestyle. He's like down to go to college, but he doesn't really want to go. And his parents, of course, immigrants, and his dad's a plumber. He says, you need an education. He goes, you know what? I don't need an education. I've seen these people. They're salesmen. They can sell anything. I like this lifestyle. This is what I want. And I'm not going to go to college. And he kind of gets seduced by this lifestyle. And you have this like family battle against his dad wants him to be better. He's seduced by these guys where money just seems to come easily. And you got this like family dynamic going on, and he like gravitates more towards Phil Brody, who's now this father figure. But Phil Brody's a dick, because once he sees he's got this kid in the palm of his hands, he starts manipulating him towards a game of cards, because the whole time he keeps winning gin rummy, and it comes down to this final card showdown, this gin rummy showdown, where Phil Brody figures out that he's been alerting somebody in the club to give him the read on other people's cards. But because he's such a good card player, he beats him and then goes and tells people, listen, this guy's cheating at cards. He's like, you little punk kid, you'll never amount to nothing. Get out of my club. He goes, well, I was leaving anyway. Summer's over. And we're left to imagine, he goes, final scene, he goes back. His family are having dinner at like the normal Italian restaurant they always have dinner at. or the fish restaurant they always have dinner at. And he goes, he sits down, it's all forgiven. And he goes, it was my summer of being distracted by dickheads, but now I'm back in. I'm going to do what my family wants to do. I don't want the easy money. I want to work for it like my father did. And that, Dori, is the movie Flamingo Kid.
Is that all there is to it?
Yeah. It's not much
no
going
love interest?
There is a
like
love interest.
Side story?
So he takes a liking to the Phil Brody's niece, right? And that's kind of how he gets drawn in by Phil Brody. But almost like once he likes Phil Brody, that love interest kind of disappears. And it's only a summer fling. She's like, it's only going to happen in the summer. I'm only here for a little bit. Of course, there's a mandatory 86 scene. But it's a very weak love story because it's just fleeting. It's a very mid movie. It's just quite meh. It's nice. So I have to say that Fisher Stevens' character, he's the comic relief. He's got some fantastic one-liners. And Bronson Pinchot, he's really underutilized because he's just one of the guys who hangs around at the beach club. And he's it's Bronson Pinchot being a dick, but not in the Serge way of being a dick. He's like a preppy 80s douchebag in the 60s. And he's like, just gives it like, little stares. And Bronson Pinchot is a dick in deck shoes. And I like it. I think we should have had more Bronson Pinchot dick in deck shoes.
Say that 3 times fast.
It's a nice movie to just put on the background. So while you're doing stuff around the house, just put it on, watch it. Like I say, the cars are good. The music's the thing about the music, right? They got a lot of the 1960s staples, right? Stand By Me, which is played like 10 times. But the funniest part is the opening and closing title song are like typical 1980s summer coming of age movie songs. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, you're evidently in the 60s, but that's an 80s style, this movie song, which I suppose is 80s, anything happens. Am I
remembering the poster correctly? That he's wearing like a Hawaiian type shirt?
You are. So, listen, it could have been, there were lots of movie posters. The main one that I kept seeing, he's wearing like a white golfer with white linen pants, kind of like standing on the beach. Yeah. You're thinking of his character in There's Something About Mary.
Something About Mary. Exactly. Exactly.
That's what you're thinking about. That's what you think. All right, listen, you want to talk about a guy, because you always got Matt Dillon. He's got such a dickhead face. And there was a time before he had a dickhead face, because when he was younger, his face was softer, like wasn't as pronounced. He didn't have the dickhead jaw. So that's my movie, Flamingo Kid. A movie that has got me very excited this week is Masters of the Universe, the new He-Man movie. So this morning, my wife's like, I'm placing a Checkers 60 and 60 order. Do you want something? So I sent her the link to He-Man and Skeletor toys, and I said, these. And I'm serious. Okay, so they even come in my 60 and 60 order. Because that's the big thing with He-Man, is that not only am I going to watch the movie, I'm going to buy the toys, because there's so much toys. And as we've said, this He-Man movie is not made for little kids. It's made for me's, people like me who grew up on the original. Now, why it's good, you have to buy He-Man toys, because it's part of the experience. That's what He-Man is. If for those of you who may have forgotten, is that He-Man actually started out life as, it was a toy line. It was Masters of the Universe toy line. They wanted something to compete with the Star Wars toy line, which everyone wanted. And so they created this toy line. And when they went to go pitch it, the exec said, well, nobody knows who the fuck these guys are. Like, they look cool, but there's no story. Like, who's bad, who's good, why do we give a shit? So they very quickly decided, okay, let's just do little comic books that we're going to put in the box with the toy, but let's make an animated show. So basically, the He-Man animated series was a long ad to get people to buy toys, right? So you have to buy toys when consuming He-Man, and you have to think of Dolph Lundgren nipples. And the He-Man toy world was massive. Peak 80s, $400 million a year they were making. Figures were about $5. The most expensive set sold for $90 then. $20,000 now if you can find one, the Eternia play set. And He-Man, yes.
What is it for $20,000? Oh my God.
It's a plastic castle. It's a plastic castle with jets and multiple apparatuses and space for all your money keys. I prefer.
Is it vintage?
Yeah, it was that thing of where you couldn't. Very few people had it in the 80s as kids. I only ever saw one real Castle Grayskull in the 80s. Only one kid I knew had Castle Grayskull, and then he left on his mosquito, those little mosquito burning pads. He left it on too close to it, and it melted it, and actually burnt half his room down.
Yeah.
So,
crazy, man.
I saw one, but the Eternia play set, like, that is vintage, and if you find one now, you're paying $20,000 for it, right? So
nuts.
The creators of He-Man, say the one thing that probably sunk them was they made too many characters. Okay, they were just making, because they would have the show, then they needed to release a new toy line, so they would come up with new characters in the show, which made no sense, just so that they could be part of the toy line. And they said that's probably what ruined them eventually. Also, kids changing. But they said that just became unsustainable. It was just ridiculous, bad combination of things. In the middle height of the 80s, now subsequently there's been more. Height of the 80s, there were about 80 different He-Man action figures and variants and things like that. So to get everyone in the 80s, you had to get 80 or 90 different He-Mans. There's over 300 now, all different He-Man variants. But I'm going to play a little game, Dori. So many games today. So many games. I want you.
Oh dear. It's a He-Man game. I'm not going to do very well.
It's a guessing game. It's an A or B. I've made it so easy for you. Okay. I am, because the characters got ridiculous. They got really stupid. So I'm going to name a set of characters. I got 10 in total, 5 sets. And you have to tell me which one I've made up and which one was the real He-Man character, the real action figure. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
So,
I'm going to be so bad at this.
Oh, it's a guessing game, Dori. It's a guessing game.
Okay.
And I've made them
not
tricky.
For someone like you who would know.
Oh, Dori, I don't know. First one, Moistor, the master of dampness, or Stinkor, the humanoid skunk. Which one was the real action figure? Moistor?
I'm going to go with the skunk.
Stinkor, the humanoid skunk, was the real action figure whose special power was being stinky. And that action figure actually stank. She stank real bad.
How?
It had.
Did you like scratch and sniff?
Kind of, yeah. It stank. That was not. Now you understand who's going to buy a stinky toy? One kid, and then no one else is going to buy it. Now the next one.
I don't know. I think little boys in the 80s would have wanted it.
And little boys in the 80s stink. Like, how are you gonna know? Next one, Spot, the Master of the Universe figure. Snout Spout or Muckjaw? Which one is the real action figure?
Muckjaw?
Snout Spout is the real one. Snout Sprout is a cyborg elephant firefighter that sprays water from his trunk. Muckjaw is made up. Okay. We're almost there.
That sounds so legit, though.
Toe Jam or Mosquito?
Toe Jam is not real.
Correct, Dori. Mosquito is a giant mosquito monster with a chest that fills with fake blood. It's just...
That's so gross.
That is gross. And then, Dori, the final one. Well, because 80s, Dori. It's 80s, and you got to sell toys. Sell, bottom line. Protect the yield. And the final one. Derelict. Licked as in Licked. Derelict. Or Tongue Lasher. Which is the real He-Man character?
The fact that you spelt the one means it must be real.
No, derelict is fake. I made that up myself. I made all of these up myself.
Oh, well done. Yes, well done.
Tongue Lasher is the evil master of saliva. Uses a tentacle and a whip. His tongue is a tentacle-like whip, which is coated with venom that makes it poisonous to the touch. That's not a good Tinder or...
That's not for children.
No, not at all.
Not.
I mean, those are some that are made up, but just listen to, there are characters like Rockon, Rotar, Triclops, who knows, quite a famous one, Grislaw, Extendar, and our favorite, Fisto. Okay, give a shout out for Fisto. It's fisting time.
You know, now that we're talking about toys, what I want to talk about, right?
I did know you wanted to talk about this. Now, you're going to have to use your best theater of the mind here, because it's very difficult to picture these without the instant visual reference. So I'm going to leave it to you for your best theater of the mindness.
This is a case of if you know, you know.
Right.
I think if you don't, just, you know, skip ahead. Paulo, I ended up in a rabbit hole the other night. You were a recipient of some of the things that I found in the rabbit hole, because it took me back to a childhood trauma, which was the fact that I, an only girl child, was never afforded the opportunity to play with the Fisher-Price garage, which is definitely one of the coolest toys ever made in the history of toys. We used to go to, my parents had these friends, and they had two boys who were, the oldest one was about my age, and then the other one was a bit younger. Those were the kids, and we would go, and they had the Fisher-Price garage. And I would love going over to the house just so that I could play with it. They thought I was weird because it was a boy toy, in inverted commas, not a girl's toy.
It had blue on it. That's how you knew.
It had cars.
Yeah, cars, yes.
And had cars.
Yes.
Yeah, so I, at home, had the Fisher-Price schoolhouse, which, if there had been no other Fisher-Price toys, would have been cool. But out of all of them, it was probably the weakest one. These kids also had the airplane, which you did mention the other night. The airplane was also awesomely cool. There was another one. What was it that you said? You had another one?
The fire truck.
Okay, I don't remember the fire truck.
There was the firehouse. Well, the firehouse.
Firehouse.
The firehouse had
like a pole.
It didn't have a pole because the people didn't have arms. So the little people that went with us, they were like little stubby people that just had a head. They looked like little pigs. So they just had a little head.
They literally were. They were like, they were the creation of kids who couldn't draw very well. They like made them in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't put like arms or legs. They were just, these little stubby things. But the garage was so cool because not only did it have like this, imagine like a real parking garage where, you got the ramp that goes up, and then there was like a weird circle thing on the top that would rotate the car around. So you would maybe park, and then you're like, oh, my car doesn't have a reverse gear. What am I going to do? Turn the thing. The car gets turned around. But that wasn't the coolest part. The coolest part was the elevator. Why, I will never understand, but there was an elevator that the car went into, and then on the side, on the outside, there was the part where the person went into. And you could make this thing go up and down, and there was even a little like road sign, like barrier thing to make it safe so that when the lift was not there, you didn't fall down the shaft or whatever it was.
Because they had no arms to stop themselves. So they needed a lot of barriers.
I will post, because I did send you a little, there is a little video on Instagram of this thing. To this day, when I ended up in the rabbit hole, I actually thought if I could buy this thing now, I probably would. Which made me think that I've been hanging out with you for far too long.
There you go.
Because what am I going to do with it?
Exactly.
But it's the realization of a childhood dream.
That's what I'm telling you, Dori. You see, everybody sneers at people like me until they find that toy that they wish they had. And that part of it goes a realization of a childhood dream, and the other part is, fuck you, mom and dad, I bought it myself, and fuck you and your pocket money.
Exactly. Because I don't know why I never got it. My grandparents owned a toy shop. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think they sold Fisher-Price. I don't remember ever getting anything Fisher-Price from that toy shop. But they owned a toy shop. So I had lots of toys.
Yeah.
But I didn't only have toys from there. I had toys. I had the Fisher-Price schoolhouse. Why did I never get the garage? Because in my potentially incorrect memory, it was a boy toy. But I'm bitter, Paulo. I'm bitter. I'm like Jason Donovan.
Fisher-Price. And they had like a carnival set. They had everything. There's so many things. And I remember with the little firehouse is that they had a little, it was like a double-story firehouse. The little door had a thing on the side that you could wind the door up and down. And when you did it, a little bell rang. So like a fire truck's coming, had a little fire truck.
The bell rang on the garage as well.
Yeah, probably the same.
It's in the video that I sent you.
Yeah.
The bell rings.
There was like a little plastic hose you could plug in. They had a little Dalmatian. They thought of so many things. No fucking arms for the people. It is your lucky day because you get a third game today. You get a third game, Dori. Third game. Third game. So it's two 80s truths and a lie. I didn't theme it as He-Man's because that would be overkill. You know, you don't want to do too much He-Man content. Got to save it. But there is a music theme. So, 2 80s truths and a lie. I give you 3 80s statements. 2 are true. 1 is a lie. They're all ridiculous. You know, my favorite song from Flashdance is Maniac. Maniac by Michael Sembello was originally written to be about a serial killer. That's statement number 1. Statement number 2, Jon Bon Jovi wanted to call his band Johnny and the Suspects, but George Lucas told him was stupid. And Boy George is releasing an AI version of Karma Chameleon. 2 are true, 1 is a lie.
I'm going to say that the Bon Jovi one's true.
Bon Jovi's a lie. Maniac was originally written about a serial killer. So Sembello and his writing partner were watching a psychological slasher film called Maniac in the 1980s. And they decided they're going to write a song about a maniac. And the lyrics were, he's a maniac, that's for sure. He will kill your cat and nail him to the door.
That's insane.
They recorded it, and Sembello's wife, how's this? Sembello's wife included it when the music supervisor for Flashdance was looking for songs. His wife included it in the songs that they sent. They got the song, they said, fuck, we actually love the song. The lyrics have got to change though. And they changed the lyrics. And because of that, that song was nominated for an Academy Award, but they couldn't win it because Maniac was not an original song. It was originally recorded as a cat killing song. So it couldn't win the Academy Award because it was a remake.
So hang on. It was officially recorded?
Yes, they recorded
the serial killer song?
They recorded it as the serial killer song. And it ended up in the hands of the Flashdance people. So this has been That 80 Show. Everything you heard on the show today has mostly been bullshit, but can be found on That 80 Show essay on Facebook, or just check for links in the show notes. And with that, I would have put up a post of the Fisher-Price people without their arms. So just think of them. You know, no armed people got great cars, garages, places to be, no arms. So you can't have everything, Dori. I suppose that's the lesson of today's show.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So, Dori, do me a favor. You stay out of harm's way. And thanks for joining me. Goodbye.
Bye.